To forward launch or to reverse launch? It's the age-old question that new pilots tend to struggle knowing the answer to. We've got a simple rule of thumb that we follow at Backcountry PPG that ensures that we never have the inevitable turtle happen to us. Now, there's a very simple rule of thumb. This rule of thumb is that if there's enough wind to reverse kite your glider, you should always reverse launch. And the reason that we have that rule in thumb is because there's this thing called turtling, where you fall over backwards and you turtle on top of the motor, and it looks really, really funny. It's not necessarily a dangerous thing unless you happen to get drugged, but you will break equipment, and it's often not a very fun experience. There are a lot of ways to turtle, but one of the more common ways to turtle is trying to forward launch in strong wind conditions. If there's strong wind conditions and you go to do a forward inflation, you will not be able to hold against the force of those lines pulling on the side of that cage, and it will pull you over backwards, which is why the rule of thumb is if there's enough wind to reverse launch your glider, to reverse kite your glider, you should reverse launch. If you can inflate and keep that glider above your head, you should not be trying to do a forward inflation because the likelihood of it pulling you over backwards and turtling you is far greater. Recently, we were watching a newer pilot go to launch. He was attempting a forward inflation in about 15 miles an hour of wind. As soon as that glider caught the power zone, it immediately pulled him onto his butt, which pulled him onto his back, and he drug out of control for, say, 10 feet. That's a situation that is entirely avoidable by simply reverse launching in reverse launch conditions. Now, where does this cutoff lie? Because there's simply 1 mile an hour change where all of a sudden you go from forward to reverse. My personal rule of thumb is that if the wind is stronger than around 4 to 5 miles an hour, I'm going to reverse launch. At about 3, you may be able to inflate your glider and keep it above you. But if you're not a skilled kiter, if you're not a very experienced kiter, you may not be able to keep it up under control long enough to turn around and add power and get moving. So around the 4 mile an hour point is where we start to do reverse launches. That is the point in which you can kite the glider. All of that being said, my name is Trevor Steele. If you guys are interested in learning how to fly a paramotor, we would love to help you. This is one of our ground school lessons that we talk about in much further length with video examples and more. Our training class is run in Salt Lake City, Utah. We trained 101 students last year, and we look forward to training 101 more this year. Please reach out to us at backcountryppg.com. Thank you. See you next time. Talk to you later.